About a year and a half ago, I had about 9 of my friends and colleagues over for dinner. And actually, I was more nervous then than I am now, because I wanted to talk to them about joining me in planning such an event as this. These were all people who, like myself, have a passion for storytelling and art and culture. We're writers, we're publishing people, we're dancers, we're filmmakers, we're thinkers, we're all of that. And we live in the world, and we don't live in a world that's, you know, segregated over here with one type of person and one class of person or anything. And we wanted an event and a festival that represented that.
Being part of the UpSouth Festival to me had a great deal of meaning because my mother's people are actually from down south in Georgia, and they migrated from Georgia to Virginia to Harlem. And my own journey as an artist and as a person continued that journey, going from Harlem to Paris to Africa, where I was raised, primarily in Paris, and having then traveled around the world and almost being nurtured from different cultures, I've migrated back to Harlem, which has always been home to me. So it's very poignant on a number of levels.
Listen, this is a great collection of authors, talented people, writers, poets, artists. It's an amazing event in a historic place here in Harlem, and I think it's just going to grow every year and become larger and larger and more influential.
Well, we really believe in supporting our authors and also trying to find a larger readership for books. And it's a wonderful opportunity to have a forum where the readers and the authors can get together. And we believe that you should put back into the community that you're selling books to. And it's just a perfect opportunity to do that.
Oh my, there's no question about it. I've been interested in literature and in books for all my life, and I'm thinking that this is one of the most important initiatives around here right now, you know, in addition to all the other people who've been trying to like Oprah, and get us to read, so they can understand each other, understand what's happening in the world, and understand something about how do we make everything better.
He is the author of Pursuit of Happiness, which is on many bestseller lists and is astonishing people from one end of the country to the other. Chris Gardner.
The first thing I'd like to say is thank you for having me here today. And thank you for all of the support that some of you folks have given to the book. The book is, I am told, been very successful. Being a first-time author, I have no idea.
Today we are proud to be part of the wonderful festival and to introduce the topic of our first panel, Not Here, Not From There. The expression is commonly used among immigrants who have left their land in search of the American dream.
It's a story that covers almost too many topics for me to touch on every one of them, including religion and Caribbean culture, African culture, the culture of the African diaspora.
When I read this novel, I was just blown away, the novel Unburnable. The reason I was blown away, for many reasons, but one of the reasons that was really very forward front in my mind was that this was I was reading an authentically true Caribbean novel.
I believe in the training of children, black even as white, the leading of little souls into the green pastures and beside the still waters, not for pelf or peace, but for life lit by some large vision.
We thought we were a typical family, though nothing like the Dick and Jane I'd read in my first grade readers. They were white, we were brown, and nobody we knew said, "See Spot, run."
Solid ground. My ship started In telling my story, I'm always clear, and this is where that manhood comes in, that I am a man, I'm a human being. I have the right to tell my own story and to say who I am. I have returned to my family name. Many means Conrad Muhammad, but when I left the movement, I went back to my family name. And I get this question on 125th Street all the time. How could you go back to the slave master's name? Like, at the end of the day, I think a man can call himself anything he wants to. If you want to call yourself Ooga Booga, I'm fine with that.
A few years ago, a very dear friend of ours, a publisher in Sweden, told us at a dinner that in all the years she'd been coming to New York to look for interesting and beautiful novels, this 2 years ago was the worst year in her experience because there was nothing, not one single book she could buy offered by an American publisher. But in addition to that, she mentioned, and I will not mention the name here, she mentioned the name of a particular publisher who did say to her that that year they were not going to publish any novels.
I want to begin by reading a comment by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. He says, "A great writer is, so to speak, a second government in his country. And for that reason, no regime has ever loved great writers, only minor ones."
What spurred you on to tell this story in this way? These women who, they represent the ancestor stones, yes? Or that's how I thought of them.
Yeah, they do in a sense. Well, the idea for the novel actually came out of some research I was doing for The Devil That Danced on the Water, which is the memoir Malika was telling you about. I wanted to find out about my family's past, and I went to see one of my oldest aunts. And she was in her late 80s, and she was a refugee from the war in Sierra Leone. She'd fled from the north down to Freetown and was living in a small and overcrowded compound. And I went with my cousin. He came along to help with the translation, because I didn't at that time speak any Timni. She didn't speak any English. And we told her what we were there to do. We wanted to know about the history of the family. And she simply went quiet for a few moments. And then she started with the words, "Your great-grandfather, Pamalai, was a warrior at the time of the Gabanka Wars.
Mary, 1931, Stones. I remember how it was when I danced with my mother. Sometimes I close my eyes and drift as though I am going to sleep. But I am not asleep. I am remembering a time when I was still a baby, before I knew how to talk or even walk. Whirling, whirling,
Whirling, whirling, round and round, don't get dizzy, eyes closed.
whirling, round and round. Don't get dizzy, eyes closed, nose between shoulder blades, breathe the scent of her. We dance, me on her back. Oh, we dance. This is how we dance. On nights, we go together to the woman's place, the secret place where women meet.
What you want, that cayenne pepper for your blood pressure? Cassava for your snake bites. Arcade leaves keep away flies. Come here, baby, come here. What's wrong with you? Why you crying? Your man is mad with you because your breath don't smell no good. Nutmeg, look in the kitchen. Nutmeg, look in the kitchen. Nutmeg, look in the kitchen. Nutmeg, make your breath smell sweet.
We're going to speak this morning about Octavia Butler, born in 1947, died in 2006. A renowned science fiction writer. Her presence was commanding because I remember that. I remember seeing her, a rather solid lady, but one that when you looked at her, you knew she was somebody. And it was about not just her presence, but her mind and what she created, and what she created for us and for all of us who were touched by her. She had a gift. She shared that gift with the world, and we're going to talk with a few people up here about how that gift was shared with them and what they felt about it.
UpSouth is an organization of publishing professionals, presenters, and cultural workers producing events that bring the best in literature and art by people of color who bring culture and language of the South to make New York an international city. They believe in the power of storytelling in all forms: music, dance, film, theater, and especially books.